Welcome adventurers, to the discovery of one of the most legendary and feared monsters lurking in the dark depths of Dungeons and Dragons, the Dracolich. If you're ready to embark on an epic journey through the lands of imagination, there's no better time to subscribe to our channel. E.L.F will explore every corner of this fearsome being, analyzing its origins, powers, and the dangers it poses to the brave heroes who dare to challenge its fury. So, waste no more time. Subscribe now, and prepare for an adventure that will take you beyond the limits of your imagination. The Dracolich is a legendary and feared creature within the Dungeons and Dragons universe, a terrifying and empowered incarnation of classical dragons. It combines the majesty and power of dragons with the horrors and necromantic powers of liches, creating a truly formidable threat to players and their characters. Here are some key features of the Dracolich. Origins. The Dracolich is generally the result of the fusion of a powerful dragon and a lich. The creature undergoes a dark ritual that merges the essence of the dragon with the dark magic of undeath, transforming it into an even more fearsome being. Powers and abilities. The Dracolich possesses a wide range of powers, combining the magical abilities of the lich with the strength and ferocity of the dragon. It can use necromantic spells, such as controlling undead, along with the typical combat abilities of dragons, such as fiery or corrosive breath and mighty claws and fangs. Vulnerabilities. Despite its power, the Dracolich also has vulnerabilities. It is often subject to the same types of weaknesses as dragons and liches, such as pride or dependence on certain rituals or magical items. Threats to adventurers. The Dracolich is a serious threat to players and their characters. Its combination of strength, magic, and strategic ability makes it a formidable opponent in combat. Facing the Dracolich requires carefully planned preparation. Stories and adventures. The presence of a Dracolich in a Dungeons and Dragons campaign can add an element of suspense and danger. Adventures involving this creature often involve exploring ancient ruins, clashing with dark cults, or undertaking missions to thwart the evil plans of the Dracolich itself. In conclusion, the Dracolich represents one of the most terrifying and fascinating threats that Dungeons and Dragons players can face. Its unique combination of powers and characteristics makes it a memorable presence in gaming campaigns, leaving an indelible mark on the memories of those who dare to challenge its fury. The Dracolich, being an extremely powerful and greedy creature, is known to hoard treasures of great value and power. Some of the treasures that a Dracolich might guard include magical items. There may be magical artifacts of invaluable power and mystery, such as enchanted amulets, arcane wands, or legendary swords. These items may grant players extraordinary abilities or unique advantages in combat and exploration. Material wealth. The Dracolich may accumulate large amounts of gold coins, precious gems, and rare jewels, the result of its raids and conquests. These treasures can be used by players to enrich themselves or finance further adventures. Ancient artifacts. There may be ancient and mysterious artifacts from past epochs or forgotten civilizations. These artifacts may have significant historical or magical importance and may be the focus of future adventures for players. Books and arcane tomes. The Dracolich may possess a vast library of ancient texts and magical scrolls, containing forbidden knowledge and dark secrets. These books may provide players with crucial information on how to defeat the Dracolich itself or other dangers that await them. Magical resources. There may be reserves of magical energies or alchemical ingredients of great value, used by the Dracolich to enhance its spells or strengthen its defenses. These resources can be used by players to enhance their magical abilities or forge magical items. In general, the treasures guarded by a Dracolich are often of great value and importance, and their discovery can lead to significant rewards for players. However, obtaining these treasures can be extremely dangerous, as the Dracolich will not hesitate to defend its loot by any means necessary. The strengths of the Dracolich in Dungeons and Dragons are numerous, making this creature a formidable threat to players. Yet are some of its main strengths. Physical power. Like a dragon, the Dracolich is incredibly strong and resilient. Its imposing size and powerful musculature give it devastating physical strength that can crush or knock down its opponents with ease. Magical powers. The Dracolich possesses magical powers stemming from its lich nature. These include necromantic spells that can control undead, manipulate the forces of darkness, and inflict lethal damage to its enemies. Resistance and immunity. Thanks to its combination of draconic and necromantic nature, the Dracolich can be immune or highly resistant to many types of damage and conditions, such as fire, poison, and charm. This makes it extremely difficult to defeat in combat. Flight. Being a dragon, the Dracolich has the ability to fly. This gives it a significant tactical advantage, allowing it to surprise its enemies from above and easily evade ground attacks. Intelligence and cunning. The Dracolich is not only a creature of brute strength but also of great cunning and intelligence. It can plan and orchestrate intricate deceptions and traps to ensnare its enemies, using its intellect to outsmart its opponents. Ferocity and aggressiveness. The Dracolich is known for its ferocity in battle and its total lack of mercy towards its enemies. When it feels threatened or provoked, the Dracolich will attack with all its fury, demonstrating relentless determination in pursuing its goals. Ultimately, the Dracolich is one of the most powerful and terrifying creatures players can face in Dungeons & Dragons, and its strengths make it a formidable threat that requires cunning, preparation, and courage to defeat. Despite its formidable power, the Dracolich also has weaknesses that players can exploit to increase their chances of defeating it. Here are some of the most common weaknesses of the Dracolich. Pride and arrogance. The Dracolich can fall victim to its own pride and arrogance. Its confidence in its own power might lead it to underestimate its enemies or make fatal tactical errors. Susceptibility to brave heroes. The Dracolich may be susceptible to attacks from brave heroes who dare to challenge its domination. The heroism and determination of the players can weaken its ferocity and test its tenacity. Magical vulnerabilities. Despite its resistance to magic, the Dracolich may have specific vulnerabilities to certain types of spells or magical effects. Identifying and exploiting these vulnerabilities can be crucial to defeating it. Dependency on external factors. The Dracolich may depend on external factors to maintain its power or immortality. These factors could include magical items, special rituals, or specific sources of energy. Breaking this dependency could significantly weaken the Dracolich. Emotional vulnerabilities. Despite its evil nature, the Dracolich may still have emotional ties or emotional weaknesses that can be exploited against it. These weaknesses can be manipulated to influence the behavior of the Dracolich or weaken its will. Old feuds and grudges. The Dracolich may have old grudges or feuds with other creatures or entities, which could be exploited by the players to manipulate the situation to their advantage. Exploiting the weaknesses of the Dracolich requires cunning, planning, and cooperation from the players, but it can be crucial to defeating this formidable threat and claiming victory. Slaying a Dracolich in Dungeons & Dragons requires a well-thought-out strategy and thorough preparation by the players. Here are some tips and strategies that could be helpful. Research and investigation. Before directly facing the Dracolich, players should conduct thorough research on the creature. This might include studying its weaknesses, vulnerabilities, and habits to devise an effective strategy. Magic preparation. Spells can be a valuable resource in the fight against the Dracolich. Players should prepare spells that are effective against undead creatures, such as radiant damage spells or undead control spells. Gathering information. Gathering information from reliable sources, such as locals or ancient books, can provide players with crucial clues on how to defeat the Dracolich. They may discover its vulnerability to a certain type of magic, the presence of magical items supporting it, or its combat habits. Powerful allies. One option might be to seek powerful allies or enlist the help of other creatures or magical entities that have an interest in defeating the Dracolich. These allies can provide combat support or valuable information about the creature. Divide and conquer. If possible, players should try to separate the Dracolich from its allies or minions, thereby reducing its overall strength. This might involve eliminating the undead serving it or creating distractions to separate the Dracolich from its power base. Coordinated attack. During combat, players should aim to coordinate their attacks and actions to maximize the damage inflicted on the Dracolich. Using teamwork tactics, such as coordinated attacks or magical support, can significantly increase their chances of success. Use of environment. leveraging the surrounding environment can be another useful strategy. Players might try to lure the Dracolich into an area that puts it at a disadvantage, such as a tight room or an area with natural obstacles. Persistence and determination. Finally, it's important to remember that defeating the Dracolich will take time, determination, and courage. Players must be prepared to adapt their strategy based on circumstances and not lose hope even in the most challenging moments. Following these strategies and tips can significantly increase the player's chances of defeating the Dracolich and emerging victorious from their epic adventure. Here are some interesting facts about Dracolichs known in Dungeons & Dragons. Sokolvor is a famous Dracolich in the world of Dragonlance. He was originally a great red dragon who became a lich through the use of magical artifacts known as the Discs of Mishakal. His wickedness and thirst for power made him a formidable threat to the entire continent of Ansalon. Dintizar was a green Dracolich known for his cunning and magical abilities. He resided in the depths of the Mare de Morte swamp, where he manipulated and controlled the undead and monsters of the area to protect his treasures and satisfy his thirst for power. Necrius was a blue Dracolich who terrorized the region of Netheril with his magical powers and ferocity in combat. He was known for his ability to manipulate electrical storms and control elemental creatures to defend his domain. Dracolich is a Dracolich that appears in the Against the Giants adventure of the Tales from the Yawning Portal series. He is a black dragon who was transformed into a lich and guards an ancient artifact within his underground lair. Varen was a red Dracolich who ruled the island of Terran in the Ravenloft universe. He was known for his sadism and cruelty, delighting in tormenting and subjugating the island's inhabitants with his magical powers and army of undead. These are just a few examples of the Dracolichs known in Dungeons & Dragons, but there are many other stories and adventures involving these dreadful creatures throughout the game's universe. In conclusion, as we delve deeper into the dark depths of Dungeons & Dragons, the Dracolich reveals itself not only as a formidable threat but also as a catalyst for the most epic and memorable adventures. Whether you are brave adventurers or curious storytellers, the legend of the Dracolich will continue to enchant and terrify, guiding us through the boundaries of fantasy and beyond. Thank you for joining us on this exploration, and always remember, the true challenge is not to face the terror, but to overcome it with courage and determination. Keep exploring, dreaming, and creating, and may your destinies always be shrouded in the dark wings of mystery and adventure. Farewell, adventurers, and may fortune always be on your side.